here with the Monroe Street Art Center. This week, during our fall class, I would like to teach you about something called radial design. Now, radial designs are usually in the shape of a circle. So the way that you create a radial design is you make a dot or a point in the middle, and then your design comes out from that middle point. So a good example of that would be a flower or a sunflower. Let's think about sunflowers. So we have something in the middle, and then all of the petals come off of that middle piece. Another example is a wheel, or what we're going to be creating today, snowflakes. All right, let's get started. For our project today, you will need a piece of paper. I like to use colorful pieces of paper, but your paper could be white, it could be any color. You are also going to need some paint. I have a few different colors to experiment with today. Something to put your paint on, like a palette or a paper plate will do. And today we are going to be using a tool that you can normally find in your house, a Q-tip, to create small dots to create our radial design. Now, if you don't have Q-tips at home, that's okay, because you can also use the back of a pencil. You can use a colored pencil with just an end like this, but it usually works best if you have a pencil with an eraser, because the eraser makes very, very neat dots. All right, so I'm going to get all set up with my paint so that we can get started creating our radial designs. So I have a Q-tip for each color because I don't want to mix my colors on my Q-tip. And you'll find out in just a second why this is gonna make a lot of sense. All right, so to create a radial design, if you remember what we talked about before, first you create a dot, and then your design comes out or extends from that dot. So today we are going to make some snowflakes because snowflakes have radial designs. All right, so to get started creating your radial design, you're going to take your Q-tip or your pencil, and you are going to make sure that it is full of paint. Now, this might be a little bit too much paint, so I'm going to make sure that my paint is on my Q-tip, and then I like to dab it on my palette or my plate to make sure that it's going to create that beautiful dot. And I am going to make my first dot on my piece of paper, right in the middle, by gently pressing down. See how the Q-tip creates a perfect dot? Now that we have our point in the middle, we can start creating our radial design by extending our design out past our middle point. So I'm going to get a little bit more paint on my Q-tip, and I am going to start creating a design coming out from that middle point. Now, when you're creating a radial design, it's very important that if you do something on one side, that you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I created a dot on top and on bottom. If I create a dot on the left, I'm also going to create a dot on the right. Now that I have my first layer coming out from my middle point, I can start adding more details. Now, I like to get inspiration from looking at real snowflakes, but it's also okay if you want to make up your own design, because snowflakes can be so different from one another. This first snowflake, I'm just going to use white paint, and then I'm going to create some more snowflakes using my other colors of paint. Make sure if your paint starts to run out that you get some more paint on your Q-tip. Perfect, now I have 2 layers coming out from my middle point. Now I'm gonna start adding some of those classic snowflake details. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. And I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3. So I went out 3 dots, and then 1 more where I started creating my kind of Y shape. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on the left and right sides. It's really important when you're creating artwork with such little dots like this to be very careful and very mindful of all of the moves that you make with your tool. So today our art tool is something that usually isn't an art tool, a Q-tip. But it's really important to make sure that we're doing our best, most careful work. Now let's start connecting these together. So much fun today designing radial snowflakes using some common things that you can find in your house. Now, once you've created your snowflakes, you could do something fun like cut them out and hang them in your house. The possibilities are endless. Well, I hope you had so much fun creating our radial snowflakes today. I hope this is the perfect winter art project for you all at home. See you next time.